Hello, I'm Bruce Shaney. Today I'm going to take another look at the Tremolo of Archimedes. Now, I always thought this was an interesting piece, and when I first saw one when I was younger, I heard it was called a do-nothing machine, or a BS maker, or a smoke maker, or it's often referred to as the Tremolo of Archimedes. But the interesting thing is I haven't actually been able to find any reference that Archimedes had anything to do with this. Now, the word tremolo means that these pieces are confined to a particular path that they can travel.
The restriction can be a dovetailed groove. I made this one with PVC piping and wooden dowels as the shuttles. Or in this case, the shuttles are held in place by pieces of plastic that overlap at the top.
Now, I do have two versions.
The simpler version has two shuttles that move perpendicular to each other along an X and Y axes. I've shown this to my students as a lever that alternates between a first class and second class lever. Here it's acting as a second class lever. And here it's acting as a first class lever. This version has three axes. One moves along a major axis, and the other two are offset 120 degrees. Can you tell which one is the major axis?
Now, while it is fun to play with this, it actually does serve a useful purpose. The handle will actually trace out an ellipse in one complete cycle.
When drawing with a tremolo, it's actually called an elliptograph. Notice how the shuttles move to get this drawing. The tremolo with three shuttles will actually give us the same results.
Now, there is a simpler method for drawing an ellipse. I have this piece of paper stapled to a corkboard, and I'm going to take two push pins, push them into the paper, and I have a small loop of string, and I'm going to stretch it between the two push pins and simply take a marker, stretch the string, and draw around those two push pins, and I get a fairly nice ellipse. If I were to stretch them a little bit further out and I use a larger piece of string, I can change the variables here depending on how I want it to look. Comes up. There we go. And if I stretch them even further, I could get it long and narrow. So that's kind of fun to play with also.
Now, if you don't want to draw with one, it's simply fun to just turn it around. and 2 is better than 1.